So I thought I would make something that, to me, has literally been an everyday superfood for at least the last 20, 25 years. And I raised my kids on this dish. So I'm just gonna start with some olive oil. My pot is nice and warm. And I've got red onion and some leek. I just like to sweat the onion and leek a little bit, coat them in the extra virgin Greek olive oil. And I'm gonna get my carrot in here next. Add the sweet potato. I'm gonna give that a stir. I also add a little bit of white potato to this. It acts as a thickener for the soup. You could also use a little bit of rice if you like. I want to get a little bit of salt in there, both for flavor, but also to help draw out the moisture in the vegetables so that they cook a little faster. A little bit of turmeric, the superfood spice. Most spices have all sorts of antioxidant qualities, cumin, and a little curry powder. Star anise, just for flavor. And you want to remember how many pieces, because we're going to take them out before we puree it at the end. So I'm just going to give this all a stir. By adding the spices now and cooking them a little bit with the vegetables in the olive oil, you basically give their flavors a chance to bloom in the pot. Cover the pot. Let the vegetables sweat. This is going to take about 7 or 8 minutes. They'll soften up a little bit. And in the meantime, I'll chop some garlic. All those beautiful spices are filling up my kitchen. This is exactly what I meant by sweating the vegetables. Everything's blending really beautifully together. I can smell all those spices. It's time to add the garlic and the ginger. Just as the vegetables soften up. And ginger, which is a total superfood, filled with antioxidants. And I really just want to soften up the garlic and ginger. The next thing I'm going to do is just add the vegetable stock. And you want enough to cover the contents of the pot by about 3/4 of an inch or an inch, and let that cook now for about 35, 40 minutes until the vegetables are really soft. It's been simmering now for about 40 minutes or so. Everything's really soft. The one thing you want to be sure to do before you puree it is to fish out the star anise. It's time to puree the soup. The soup is done. Might be a little bit thick, so I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable stock to this. Now you can make this as thick or as thin as you like. This is exactly the texture we want. It's thick, but it's also really velvety. I just want to get a taste of that. Wow, that star anise is really, really delicious, very prominent, but so is the cumin, so is the turmeric, and so is that curry powder. I want to add a little balsamic vinegar, just for balance, and a little petit mezzi, that's very ancient sweetener. It's grape molasses. And just mix that all together. You need to have a balance of acidity and a little bit of sweetness in most dishes, but especially in the carrot soup, because the carrots and the sweet potatoes also have an underlying sweetness. We're ready to serve the soup. You can serve this as a first course or a main course. It makes a great lunch, but it also makes a very elegant dinner. And one last bowl here. I want to garnish the carrot soup with a bunch of different Greek superfoods, a little bit of Kalamata olive paste to start with, and we just want a tiny dollop of that, a touch of olive oil, and a little bit of parsley on top. And it's actually a really nice balance of flavors because the acidity of the olives, that tartness, is a beautiful counterbalance to the sweetness of the carrots and all those spices. The second one I'm gonna do is just a simple yogurt and a little color if you want. That's also a combination of kind of tartness and the sweetness, and so is the next one, which is the feta cheese. Get that just over the surface of the soup. I'm gonna add a little bit of this beautiful petit mezzi. It's a wonderful combination of contrasting flavors. And that's pretty much it. This is our everyday superfood carrot soup made with probably the most common vegetables you can find at any supermarket anywhere in the world. But I made it a little Greeker, so turning this international carrot soup into a Greek carrot soup called karotosoupa. Enjoy.